I love this too much, man. I got too much I'm trying to do. Yeah.
From the moment I wake up, I start packing all my stuff. Tell the homies, tell the family, I gotta keep on going. From the moment I wake up, I start packing all my stuff. Tell the homies, tell the family, I gotta keep on going.
I don't know what day it is, I don't know what month it is. I can't love a girl because I'm way too much in love with this. Different states, different countries, crossing different continents. Self-belief's my diving board, I'm swimming in accomplishments. Haven't slept since 06, main focus is stay focused. Santorini wine tasting, plus I'm off coasting.
What is good, everyone? Richard here from Weed City Soul, and we're here to do a performance review on the Air Jordan 31 Russell Westbrook Why Not Triple Double PE. It's the Air Jordan 31 upper on the Air Jordan 30 tooling, and it was a personal preference of Russell Westbrook during his MVP season. This is the colorway Russell Westbrook was wearing when he solidified his triple-double average for the season. And it looks really dope, but does it perform well? We're about to find out. We're going to start with the cushioning as usual. Unlocked 4-foot Zoom Air in a Phylon carrier with a cord-out heel crash pad. Now this cushioning setup essentially started with the Air Jordan 29. The Air Jordan 29 is seen by a lot of people as the greatest performance shoe of all time. I don't personally think that myself. I think the Air Jordan 28 is the greatest performance shoe of all time. And when they changed the cushioning for the 29, they recessed the airbag a little bit, and they took out the heel zoom unit that was in the 28, and honestly I wasn't a big fan of either of those moves, and I'll go into why. By recessing the airbag, what they did was they took away all of that signature bounce and response and fantastic impact protection that still had that great court feel. It's just not quite as prominent in the 29 or the 30. Although you do feel just a tiny bit of response in the cushioning. It's just overall, compared to the 28, it just feels a lot more dull underfoot. Now with the cord-out crash pad that's supposed to fluctuate and absorb forces from your body, it does its job to an extent, I suppose, but what I noticed after playing in my 29s especially is that my feet were always really sore after, especially in the heel. I would get shooting pains up through my heel near the end of runs after I played in them for lots of games. I just wish they had kept a zoom unit in the heel for these setups. On this particular setup, the impact protection has improved a fair bit, actually. I don't get quite as much of that just sharp feeling when my heel hits the ground in these. And the 4-foot zoom unit is really great for impact protection. Court feel is solid, but it's just not as strong as it's going to be on a lot of other models out there right now. The upper is woven just like it is on the standard Jordan 31. And it fades into a synthetic heel and collar area that mimic the Air Jordan 1. Now I think the upper on the Air Jordan 31 looks fantastic. The callbacks to the Air Jordan 1 with the swoosh, which we haven't seen on a new Jordan product in years. I just think it looks really awesome, especially this colorway in the OKC color. With a little bit of the classic Jordan cement, it looks really dope, man. I really like the looks of this shoe. But performance is what matters, and this upper performs. The woven works a lot better for containment than it did on the 29. It doesn't feel like a sweater that's bunched up on your foot. It feels like a woven shoe upper should. Malleable while still remaining lightweight and containing your foot on the footbed. Your support is coming from dynamic flywire as usual on a lot of Nike shoes, and you have a partial length inner boot. In the collar area, you'll see ankle and Achilles pillows that are supposed to help contain your foot into the back of the shoe. And they do their job. The whole upper fits really well for me personally. I went true to size and I didn't have any issues while moving around the court in these guys. Now the biggest knock consensusly on the Air Jordan 31 was the traction and how poorly it performed if the floor wasn't absolutely pristine. And the traction from the 30 does do a better job. On clean floors, it works really well. On dusty floors, it does okay, even though it's not fantastic. This isn't bite the ground, stop on a dime traction, but it works decently well. On top of that, look at the design on this traction pattern. Russell Westbrook's signature, why not? This is my favorite feature of the shoe, and I just think it looks super, super cool. The midfoot tendril, which connects the heel and the forefoot, that was added in the 29 to improve transition, is still there. But personally, I just don't think it really does that much to improve the transition in the shoe. I never had any problems with the transition of the 28. But it's there. Does it do anything? Maybe a little, but I don't think I would notice if it wasn't there, if it was just decoupled like it was in the 28. And you might have been able to reduce some of the weight of the tooling, which is one of the bigger flaws of the shoe. While the upper is really lightweight and breathable, the tooling itself is really heavy, man. It feels like a brick. You can really feel how the weight is really set into this shoe when you pick it up. It just feels nice and light from here on up, like a feather, and then the bottom of it, it's like there's a brick staple to it. This is overall a really heavy shoe, and specifically a really bottom heavy shoe. It makes the whole thing feel a little clunky and just a little bulky overall. If you're looking for a great fitting, comfortable shoe made with high quality materials, then you might want to take a look at the Air Jordan 31 Why Not PE. If you're looking for something really lightweight and really nimble with stop on a dime traction, then this probably isn't the shoe for you. If this performance has been helpful to you at all, please comment, like, and hit that subscribe button below. Really helps us out. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wheat City Soul. I'm Richard from Wheat City Soul, and until next time, they're just shoes. Why not after all, right?